Good morning, Santa Clarita. Delgado and Jen here with you on this Thursday, July 16th, ahead of the weekend. Hopefully, you have some good plans out there. But we are not alone. We have special guests. It's always great when he comes in. Your reverse mortgage specialist from loanDepot. And I'm not going to forget this for the whole year, the award recipient of the 2026 Man and Woman of the Year. We have Scott Hoolahan with us. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you forget that, Scott. That's a big
No,
deal.
it shouldn't.
Like I said, man, it puts this ridiculous smile on my face every time. I'm very proud of it. Thank you.
Yes, as you should be. You do a lot for the community here, and a lot of people think of like real estate agents and insurance and everything like that. But it really does help when you get somebody a home and get them comfortable in there, and relieving their debt, and because it just piles on, and people have no idea how to either crawl out, and it gets overwhelming. But you and your team are here to help, and especially with that, that's kind of a hot issue right now, and you have programs and other things to help alleviate that.
Yeah, you bet. And the two parts of our population that are closest and to my heart, and I really have a passion for serving, are veterans and seniors. And sometimes there's an overlap there, but the fact is, as groups, there are very specialized and individualized lending products for them. So, for example, the veteran that might find themselves behind the eight ball, as it were, a little bit with credit debt. They've racked up some credit cards. They've had to do personal loans for whatever reasons, or maybe they're facing some large repairs to their home that they want to stay in. Whatever that might be, the veteran has the ability to do a very unique cash out refinance that's not available on the conforming conventional lending platform. So the veteran, with maybe marginal to not such great credit, can still do a cash out refinance all the way up to 100% of the value of the home. Now, they may not need that, but that availability and that flexibility would put them in a position to be able to alleviate that debt. Sometimes those credit cards, we've talked about it, right, are going to be 12, 13, 15, 20, 25. I've seen 27, 28%. And here's the bad news with that is that, with all the talk of what the feds may do with the prime rate, a lot of those interest rates are likely going to continue to maybe edge up this year. And so the veteran can use the equity in their home. And the good news is we live in a beautiful community that real estate continues to appreciate because it's got great schools and it's a place people want to be. And so a lot of those veterans may be listening to this and thinking, yep, that, check, debt, credit cards, what have you, need repairs on the home. And because of their veteran status, they can get a unique cash out refinance that the rest of us, myself, I didn't serve. I'm a big fan of my freedom, but I didn't serve. And so they can take advantage of that. And then the other segment of the population, and again, there may be some overlap there, of seniors whom have lived in the home that they love. I always like to preface it and say, if this is the forever home, meaning that it's accessible, it's manageable, from in terms of being usually we're looking for one-story homes that the senior can age out in, and if they're in the right home, and they may find themselves again have accumulated some credit card debt or other types of debt. Again, maybe looking to make improvements on the property, add solar, put a new roof on the property. Again, maintaining that property so that it can be the house they age out in. And the money to be able to do that might not be in a savings account and they're on a fixed income. Maybe in some cases, a lot of the clients that I talk to are literally living off of Social Security income, maybe a pension. And you and I talked about it last time I was here. Look, take a look at the situation today and then look at what it would look like if something changed 1 or 2 years down the road. What if one of those Social Security incomes wasn't coming in every month, or one of the pensions wasn't coming in? What would that look like? What kind of burden would that put on the senior that is still in the home and wants to stay in the home? And a lot of times the reverse mortgage can be the savior and the answer to that. And it really is a passion of mine to be able to help educate people and help them look at what that looks like, how they could leverage the equity in the home that they love, that they've been living in, to be able to now help them live out comfortably, debt free, in the home that they love and want to stay in.
So you're there to guide them through this process because I am neither a senior nor a veteran, but you start talking mortgages and my eyes kind of just go, what? I would really need somebody to hold my hand through the process. And I kind of get the gist that that's what you're there for. You'll just break it down in ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and make it as simple as possible.
And repeat it.
And
Yeah.
and reverse it.
Yeah. Because you're exactly right. It is a topic that, let's face it, most people might sit down with a mortgage consultant 1 or 2, maybe a handful of times in a lifetime. And it may have changed dramatically, and particularly when we're talking about the reverse mortgage, it's a completely different landscape from the normal mortgage that you may have, the home equity line of credit that you may have and that you've done in the past. And again, I'm sitting down and educating the heirs, what we refer to as now my group, the sandwich generation, right? Because we're taking care of our parents. And so our parents may be, and you may be listening to this and go, yeah, that's my mom, that's my dad. Pension, Social Security, lived in their home for 30 plus years, maybe own it free, clear, outright, or maybe just have a small mortgage. But debt is becoming an issue. New roof, dilapidation of the property. And so how do you manage that? And there's a lot there. And so what I want to be is a resource to my community members, seniors, the sandwich generation, the veterans here. Reach out to me. You can find me online, reversescott.com. Call me direct, 805-901-7373. Set up an appointment. My office is right here on Springfield Court in Valencia, and we'll make an appointment. You can go to my website again, reversescott.com. Send me an email, request a time. I'm happy to meet face-to-face, do Zoom calls, conference calls, whatever meets your needs. I want to be a resource to help give you the information you need. And again, I'd say it's not for everybody, but for the right seniors or veterans, one of these loans could absolutely be a game changer.
Yeah, and you don't know, and you said it, resource, information, because a lot of people and a lot of the seniors, they might not even know. They might, as you mentioned, like, oh, the only way I know is credit cards or doing off the pension, whatever the case may be, and then or Social Security. And they might not know that there's these programs and they're sitting on this equity and all this money that they can use now or in the close future, not, as when they, pass on, I guess, as it were. They can use it now while they're here living, and you have the tools and the information and resources for them to do that. But again, we're talking with Scott Hoolahan of loanDepot. The website, one more time for them to get a hold of you.
reversescott.com. You can also just spell out my name. It's scotthoolahan.com, and come visit me over on Springfield Court and get some information.
Oh, yeah. Nice and easy. ReverseScott.com. Your reverse mortgage specialist. And again, the 2026 Santa Clarita Man and Woman of the Year Award recipient. That's going to be awesome. Well, have a great weekend and talk to you soon. Well, if you got the tail end of that interview, you can catch it in its entirety.